The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Let me take away with
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. I'm Antonio Perez, joined as always by Danny Cole, DC, UPenn's finest, and Chris Coacher, CB Coacher Boy. Got another great episode for you guys today. Obviously, we're going to talk about Week 8 in the NFL. We're going to preview Week 9 in the NFL, give, the usual hot locks, some of Saban's games we're looking forward to. But we're actually going to start with, we always start with Summits and Plummets. We're also going to start with our NBA Weekly, which basically we're going to talk about whatever happened in the NBA this week. Just until the NFL season is over. Obviously, once the NFL season is over, we will transition to full-time NBA. But we, of course, still want to give the love during the season. But, it is football's time, and it is only right to give them the full floor. But before we get into any of that, like I said earlier, Summits and Plummets is the start, and Danny can lead us off.
Yeah, Summits and Plummets. I'm going to do an inherent summit. I got a new light bulb, so the lighting is back, visible during the show. I told Chris.
Yeah, facts.
Very good. Very important. But no, on a note of sports, James Harden is out of Philadelphia, which is a summit and a plummet in itself. The trade value, I'm actually a fan of you getting picks back in the future when the Clippers probably aren't going to be that good. Philly and OKC are sitting here like, kind of ironic because both teams are former James Harden teams, but they're sitting here praying the Clippers do bad.
Yeah. We'll talk a little bit more about that James Harden trade in NBA Weekly. That's probably going to be like the majority of the talk, as that's only like the greatest. I mean, obviously we can talk a little bit about big beginning of season 2, but that's big news around the NBA. So Chris, you got next?
I do. And it is a plummet. My plummet is that the Ravens did not make a move at the trade deadline, which was unfortunate. And I just thought
I don't think it is. Dude, I think their team's built to win right now.
Yeah, but it's a couple holes I think could have been filled or at least tried to be filled. So I'm gonna take it as a plummet. I'm not mad. I'm not mad, but I just thought maybe an edge rush. I saw rumors of Josh Jacobs. I kind of got hyped because I think we're an elite running back away from like really sewing it up to be a Super Bowl, like being a Super Bowl. But I think the running back committee can work too. So I'm not necessarily mad at it, but I was just expecting a little more. I was expecting just more movement, I guess, at the trade deadline in general. So, but that's why I would say it's a plummet.
I mean, better safe than sorry, though. I mean, trading for a running back can be real hit or miss. And where I think like notable trading at the running backs, at least in recent years, all I can really think of is the Eagles trading for Jay Ajayi, and that kind of capped off their running back by committee. Whereas if you were to trade for Josh Jacobs, you're kind of getting away from it for a little bit. But
yeah,
it's ironic that I say this. Lamar caps off the running back by committee because of his dynamic. But I'm not trying to call him a running back, but in a good way,
I get it.
Can be. I remember the one time him, Mark Ingram, and Robert Griffin III ran the Heisman package. It was like a triple option between the three of them. RG3 was at QB. They put Ingram at fullback and then Lamar at running back. Dude, that was so awesome. That play would be probably unstoppable if that was actually RG3. But yeah. But Summit is. You was at the game though.
Yeah, I was about to say that was my summit.
You were at because you were at Ravens beating the Cardinals in Arizona, and then you were at a Luka masterclass.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was my summits. Being able to see two really cool games over the weekend. Cool in their own right. I got to see Josh Dobbs' last game as a Cardinal. That was cool, I guess.
Legendary.
But yeah, it was cool to see Luka play. And watching the game before he made that crazy three at the end, I was like, he's gonna do something crazy because he made 3 in a row. Like that was the 4th 3 in a row. Like a lot of people are kind of missing that because their shot was so crazy. That was his 4th 3 in a row. Like possession. And I don't know, kid's just elite. So like I said, it was really cool to see those two games. So those that's my summit. Being able to see those
Yeah,
two.
no,
It's
Luka, his backpack job has been insane, and even like because Kyrie he's still finding his shot. There's been a couple years where Kyrie started off slow. I remember one year in particular in Boston, he didn't start off too hot, but he's always going to pick it back up. He's one of the best to ever do it. So, but until then, I mean, Luka is no stranger to backpacking it. And something about the Mavericks, they don't look. I mean, outside Luka, they don't look too bad. I mean, like Green has kind of taken like a favorable step into being like a serious role player. Grant Williams is a great role player. That's no doubt, and he kind of fits the mold of the heliocentric offense that Luka runs. Like kick it to the corner, and there's going to be nights where Grant will smack 7 threes for you. There's going to be nights where he's unplayable, but it's the Grant Williams experience.
Is Grant Williams a PJ Tucker variant?
He's a better shooter than PJ, but he's not as good as a defender as PJ is.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, variant, yes, he is a variant. Who are the PJ Tucker variants of the world?
PJ Tucker, Jay Crowder,
Pat Bev.
No, Pat Bev's too small.
I think Pat Bev is more guards are kind of like their own mold. So
Patrick Williams is like the PJ Tucker variant that people think it's like the future Trunks. Like we didn't see lots of it, but that's what they think he's gonna be. So I would throw Patrick Williams.
Nah, future Trunks is
low key.
That's like Brandon Ingram. Like they swear the 30-point season is coming.
Herb Jones, PJ Tucker variant.
Am I crazy calling Rui a PJ Tucker variant?
Very crazy. Rui can't guard a parked car.
Yeah, it's crazy because they used to say he was a Kawhi Leonard variant.
Yeah, like they're only saying that because his
going
form looks
on?
similar. It's no way.
No.
Rui can't guard a parked car.
I know that, but like, can PJ's like sometimes can't guard shit nowadays anymore either. So
if
like,
PJ can't guard somebody, is most like it's Kevin Durant, it's Jason Tatum.
And I think
Jokic.
Rudy's too good on offense too. Like his offensive package is a little more than what PJ got. If it's not a corner three for PJ, it's nothing. I think
Rui. I don't think Rui be pulling from the corner that much. He's like a mid-range messiah. You know what I'm saying? He loved that. He loved that little mid-range.
So Chris, if you were to guess, what was PJ Tucker's season high last year in points?
Was it 17? Oh, 13?
Bro had like 13 points.
I knew it was 17 or 13 for some random reason because it was one day last year on betting Twitter. I seen some dude took PJ Tucker under 7.5, and I think he scored either 11 or 13 or something. And I was like, that's rough. But that's rough.
Whoever bet the under on PJ, man, that's messed up. But
it's terrifying, dude. No, go ahead. My bad,
I guess I can get in my Summit and Plummet real quick. Plummet, Eagles defense. Summit, Eagles offense. Eagles second straight week put it up 30. AJ Brown. We'll talk a little bit more about him later in the week 8 recap, but I'll talk a little bit more about this game in the whole week 8 recap. So it's kind of a waste of a Summit and Plummet, but that's what kind of just made my week. Oh, I guess extra Summit. The Celtics look unstoppable. They look like every offensive possession they can find the best shot possible. Every defensive possession they can switch anybody onto anyone and force a bad shot. Derek White has been phenomenal. He's been so good. And honestly, if Drew Holiday wasn't here, I think he'd have a real shot at most improved player. Like I really do. But I know he's gonna want to split the touches. And even defensively, like he ain't gonna be able to block everybody because not everybody's gonna be seeking out Derek White. And that's another thing about their defense. Who do you seek out? What's the weak point? Even when you sub Al Horford out for Tatum, who's usually the first sub, I guess you could switch on to Al in space if you want, but then KP's backing him up at the rim, and that's kind of how the Celtics like to handle like the elite bigs of the NBA. That's how they handled Embiid. That's how they usually try things with Bam. Well, Bam's a little bit better of a playmaker than Embiid. Well, way better playmaker than Embiid, but not as good as a scorer. So, but yeah, my teams are doing good. Flyers are mid, but
Flyers are mid. What you mean, man?
They're 4-4-1. That's like the epitome of mid.
I guess that's
It's okay
true.
though. Hey. The offense has been there. The offense has been there. We need to play better defense. So, we'll get to that. I'm not a hockey nerd, so I can't confirm nor deny.
I'll
But
tell you this, man. Rest in peace to Adam Johnson. He died. It's a hockey player. That's another plummet.
heavy rest in peace. That's brutal.
I don't know if you saw
Um,
the video.
no, we're not
such a
talking about this.
it's such a casual hockey play that happened. Like it's just they had a collision and his skate went in the air and guy got hit. It's bad.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace to him. But we can get into our first NBA Weekly, and I guess Danny can kick it off since it's really all about his squad. The Sixers traded James Harden in return. Oh, Harden and PJ Tucker and someone else. Forgive me, I can't remember the name off the top of my head. For Nick Batum, Robert Covington, Marcus Morris, and some picks.
Philip Petruski
Something like
or
that.
some shit.
Yeah, Petrusev not bad. He's gonna take some time, but dude, not terrible. He's not terrible. He's not terrible. He's not great. He's not terrible.
He's not that good.
But yeah, Danny, take it away. Pros, cons. Do you like it? Did you not like it? Did Morey cook?
I'm gonna start with the pros. Getting PJ Tucker's contract out of your hands, freeing up $50 million in cap space. With a decent free agency class coming up this winter and this summer, Daryl Morey, you might be able to make some moves in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
The cons.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I asked for pros and cons. My fault.
The cons. Some of the players you got back. Aging Nicholas Batum. Middle tier KJ Martin. It's just you got some middle tier players. I like Rocco. I'm a big fan. He's back in Philly. I'm happy for that. I think every Sixers fan's happy. They can unretire the jersey, get it out of the closet, put it back on. The process is back because he's going to – I think Josh Harris might have started 2 new processes today. The new Sixers process and the Commanders process.
Yeah, getting rid of Montez Sweat and Chase Young for a second and third round pick. Yeah, I didn't think both would go, but I mean, yeah, back to Sixers. Yeah, I like your point. I mean, you could look at it in 2 ways. Like, at least the players you got back. Yeah, they're aging, good role players. I don't know. They'll have a role in this. They'll have a role in the Sixers team. Rocco better get playing time, man. He better get playing time. I do like Robert Covington. I went to his first game as a Sixer, and Darren wanted to get a jersey bad, but like he just got here. His jersey isn't in the pro shop. But Chris, could you give a little insight maybe on like the Clippers side of things? They now have James Harden and PJ Tucker, Westbrook Harden reunited, PG Harden, Westbrook, Kawhi.
I think it's a good trade for the Clippers because you don't lose much and you add a talent like James Harden, no matter how bad he's playing, no matter how much anybody talks about James Harden, including myself, mostly myself. He's still a really good player. And to only give up players that Robert Covington was in the rotation, Batum was playing 11 minutes a game. KJ Martin, I think, has promise as a rim runner and a defender. But if that's going to be the most prized possession you give up and some picks, I mean, to get James Harden, I think you do it all the time because of your top 2 players' health. It's just uncertain. So especially to get through the regular season, I think you make that trade because James Harden, one thing James Harden is when he's not on his BS, he's available. So if he's going to be out there with Russ, you got a chance with role players. You got a chance because they've done it before. They drug Houston to the bubble play-in with bums. So I've seen them do it before. So I think it's good injury insurance for the Clippers. So I think that's good. For the Sixers, I'm not as big of a fan of them getting better by subtraction. Like, yeah, you move out the way, and I think you give Maxey more room to be who I think he is and who a lot of people think he is, which I think is a positive. But with all those wings, who loses time? I think Rocco should play. I do. I think he should play.
Marcus Morris loses.
I think Marcus Morris gets waived. Honestly, I don't think he stays on the team. But I think
send him back to Boston. He's like our Rocco.
Yeah, Batum and Covington, I think it's good pickups. But at the same time, I think you need the third player. And I think if they're going to try to get that third player, I think the Sixers can be scary. Levine, Anunoby, or Siakam come to mind. One of those three, if they're able to go out and get something like that, because I think it gives Maxey a chance to kind of ease into being the guy on the perimeter. Because ever since Maxey's been there, he's shared that duty with somebody else. No matter if he should have been or shouldn't have been, he was. So I think you gotta kind of gotta let him ease into that a little bit, and kind of let him take the team over from the perimeter aspect, because we know it's Joel's team. But I'm just interested to see what Philly does with the assets they got. Is it like a Brogdon type thing where they get them and then move on for better? So I'm just kind of excited about that. But I think it's a pretty good trade for what both teams were looking for.
Yeah, one thing that I saw on some timelines today, I saw it said the Sixers should get Caruso and Levine and try to swap out these wings for more guard play, which I would not be opposed to. You might have to send a guy like Tobias Harris, maybe DeAnthony Melton on and send him packing. But I think you can – the Bulls might take on a contract like Batum and just to get 2 more draft picks. I think all you got to do is send 2 or 3 draft picks, and that might give you Zach LaVine.
Especially if you wait till February.
The Sixers have to know Embiid is gone if you don't get the right talent around him. And it's not – it's like Maxey is great. DeAnthony Melton's good. I think Kelly Oubre is going to be a really, really strong picture for the Sixers moving forward. But where do you have the second star? Because in this NBA nowadays, Tatum has his Brown. Kawhi has his PG, and now Harden, and KD has his Booker. Everyone has their second star. I guess, Chris, for you,
I would even say in this current NBA, 2 stars don't cut it. Like 2 all-star or a superstar all-star, it don't cut it no more. Like
it did for the Nuggets, but they have insane depth.
I would say the Nuggets have like the all-stars of role players, like Aaron Gordon, Bruce Brown, and Christian Brown, KCP. Like they just literally had the ideal, perfect role players.
Yeah, their team fit really well together
and it's so weird with the Nuggets that if you literally just took this ring away from the Nuggets, you'd be like, yeah, they just don't got it, which Danny just pointed out. But it's like we seen them do it to such a perfect standard that it's kind of just like now every time we watch them, it's like, dog, how do you beat them? How do you beat this team 4 times in 7 games? We'll see in the postseason anybody can do it. But yeah, I like both your points on the James Harden trade. I'm interested to see the Bulls theory. I know there's been a lot of talk about Levine. It's like I'm scared for the Bulls because they could either be smart and just deal out Levine and get rid of DeMar and just tank, or they could be smart in the way it's like, know what, we believe that Lonzo really is the key to all this, and we believe he's going to play next year. So we are just going to hold on to everybody. We're going to go through this mediocre year one more time, and we're going to believe in Lonzo. Because me personally, when Lonzo was playing and they were like the 2 seed or the 1 seed, I didn't think that was a fluke. Like I really, really liked that team. Same thing with like the Pelicans last year. When Zion was healthy, they were the 2 seed. I really thought they were contenders. I thought they looked really strong, but I don't know. The Bulls are weird. Don't trust them to do anything. Chris will tell you that firsthand.
Yeah, I think it's one move the Bulls can make, just one. And it's if the Bulls want to compete next year, because I agree. I think Lonzo is the key. I'm a big Lonzo fan. I am. But he's the key because he does everything that their other players don't do well. He defends well. He's a facilitator. That's what their other 2, even Vucevic.
And he shoots. Exactly. The 3 really well.
He can make it open now too. So and he combines what they have. Like he combines Caruso, Dosunmu as guards. He can defend and shoots the open 3. So I think he does help. It's one move. If they can get Siakam, that's the only way they keep that team together because they're missing a real 4. Patrick Williams isn't that for this team. I think they need a real 4. It's the only way I do it. I keep this team together. Is if they can get the assets to, or they have the assets now to go get a Siakam to where when Lonzo comes back, you legit have firepower because that's what they're missing. They have the dirty work players. They have that already. So I think that's the only way that you keep that together. But I'm with you on that, Tone, a little bit. I think that's why I was telling Danny by the trade deadline because the Bulls should know by then what they're looking like for this year.
It's just if you're anybody trading for Siakam, you have to know he's 100% bought in on re-signing because he's made it clear. He said to the Raptors, "If you trade me, I'm coming back in free agency," which is like, okay, weird, but Okay. I think he just, I don't know, maybe he's just comfy. Maybe that's home. He maybe doesn't care about that championship since he already got his. But hey, but yeah. I mean, we're honestly like basically perfectly on time, for once ever. But um, yeah, week 8, recap. I actually wanted to bring up a topic to you guys that me and Chris were talking a little bit about before the show. So the thick of this episode, not the thick of it, the title of it is AJ Brown wide receiver 1 now? I ain't gonna lie to y'all, it's low key bait, but high key bait. But I do want to give AJ Brown his props. I've always thought that AJ Brown had the tools to be an elite receiver in this league. Good route runner, strong hands, fast, rare upper body strength, great body control for someone of his size. And to top it all up, just really dominant. Like, looks to win his rep at every single point of it. He wants to win the release. He wants to win the top of the route. He wants to win the sell. He wants to win at the catch point. He wants to win after the catch. And he does it every single time. And there's really hasn't been a corner in the NFL that has been able to stop it. Now,
Marshawn Lattimore last year.
Did we play the Saints last year?
They won.
He didn't get the better of him. He had Gardner Minshew at quarterback, and AJ Brown had a 70-yard touchdown that game. So, thank you very much, sir. But anyway,
I'm pretty sure it wasn't on Lattimore, but yeah, I know.
It doesn't matter because that pick 6 also wasn't on Brown because Gardner Minshew blatantly called out a slant audible, and AJ Brown was like, "We can't run that. Like, you're just saying it. We can't do it." No, I mean, Lattimore did ball that game, though. I ain't gonna lie. But this year, it seems like AJ Brown has taken it to a completely different level that we literally have never seen before, and that those numbers are showing. So I wanted to give props to the second best wide receiver in the league right now, with Jefferson out. AJ Brown is having the second best wide receiver season, in my opinion. Did y'all want to say anything about AJ before we just talk about some of the games that happened around the league this week?
Yeah, I'll say there's 2 receivers that I'll solidly put ahead of AJ Brown, and these are the only 2 that you have a case to put in front of AJ Brown. It's Tyreek Hill and Justin Jefferson. You can't tell me any receiver is better than him right now in the NFL. Jefferson, when he's out, I'm still taking him over AJ Brown.
Well, I'll take Jefferson over him. I'm saying Brown's having the better season, though, obviously because of health reasons and that he's a monster,
Josh Dobbs is his quarterback right now.
So. Well, I don't know what they're doing there. I don't know if they're running with Jared Hall, and then having Dobbs back him up or whatever. But I'm down to see whatever. I mean, the Vikings are utterly lost right now without Jefferson and Cousins. So, Chris, you were telling me before the show how much you like AJ Brown. You had any words on him?
Nah, only because I'll be really just repeating what y'all said. I'm a big fan of AJ Brown though, because he's a playmaker, man. And at the end of the day, he's a big, strong receiver who plays like it. Like a lot of receivers who are big and strong, like they kind of shy away from hits sometimes.
Oh, you talking about DK Metcalf?
I am, and I like DK. But that dude does not play like he doesn't play his size. AJ Brown does, and AJ Brown's also a really good athlete. So to see him like punish people, like nobody goes up. I mean, people do. I mean, it's tackle football. It's where they try to tackle him, but like it's a difference when people go up to try to tackle AJ Brown than tackling somebody else. So, and Wemby just lost his mind dunking on somebody. It just threw me all the way off. But yeah, that's what y'all got to say about AJ Brown. Yeah, that he's elite. That's it.
Yeah. I would say this. It could be like quick yes no explanation. Does Hill or Brown have a real shot to win MVP?
I think Tyreek Hill does. I really do. Because I think people are going to be reluctant to give Tua the credit for being the guy. So I think the next person would be Tyreek Hill. So I think he have a legitimate chance to win. I think it's harder for the Eagles because just the Eagles team as a whole is just way better than the Dolphins. So I think people would be like, oh, his team's so good. He blah blah. So I think Tyreek Hill has a chance.
Saying that about a receiver is hilarious.
Unreal.
No, but it is true though. This year, watch AJ Brown will have like a top 3 MVP finish. Like, oh, it's only because he is an elite quarterback. But last year was like, oh, it's only because he is AJ Brown. Never ending cycle. All right,
Yeah,
Danny.
I don't think
Yeah,
I don't think he has a chance to finish top 3 in MVP voting. I think the fact is the media's biased and will always put a quarterback there. If AJ Brown has 20 touchdowns, they're gonna say Jalen Hurts has 35 to 40. He's
that's
so good.
true.
He's the reason he got the touchdowns.
That is true. Unfortunately, yeah. But okay, we could actually talk about some of the games though. A game, I would say a game I wanted to bring up was Chris's hot that he hit on last week. The Panthers got their first win, and Bryce Young looked really good. Like for the first time all year, he was making a little bit of magic happen, which is kind of what you signed up for. Um, I thought he played really well. Again, always very cool in the pocket. Was breaking some tackles here and there. Showed off some arm strength. I thought his receiving core had like one of their better days, creating separation, making good catches when need be, helping him out a little bit. The defense balled, obviously. Um, holding that Texans team to I believe what was it, 12 points or something like that. It's not easy, and no matter how it comes. Shout out the Panthers kicker. Really carried them. But yeah, I mean, that was a great call by Chris. It was a good game. I don't think either of the rookie quarterbacks played bad. And I think Bryce Young will start to hit his stride and start to quiet up some of the noise compared to the rest of the quarterbacks. Chris, I mean, talk about the hot.
I'm
Talk
not
about the
gonna
hot
say
that you hit on.
I'm not gonna say I'm a genie, but I do have a couple bottles in here. But no, for real,
Yeah.
I mean, somebody had to win the game at the end of the day. I think I just got lucky, but like I said, I think it was good, a good game to choose because the Texans are a young team too, and I think Bryce Young. I mean, chip on the shoulder or not, you want to win that matchup when it's quarterback against quarterback. A guy that's in your class that's a couple picks away from you that you were getting compared to all pre-draft, after draft, for the rest of your career you'll be compared to. So it's always a little extra edge at it. So I could just see like how Bryce Young really wants to prove, like, yeah, I'm the guy. It's the reason why they got me. Even though the kicker carried, Bryce Young wanted to do his part and kind of showing that, hey, I'm the guy. So I thought it was a really good game too. I like what the Texans are doing as a team, even though they lost. I like how their teams come together. They have a lot of young pieces that can be something. So it's really cool to see them play well and even be in these games every week. So yeah, that's really it. And yeah, shout out to me being a genie. I hope I can repeat that this week on Hots and Locks too.
Yes, we all hope so. Danny, did you think anything of Young's performance, or were you perhaps had your eye on a different rookie quarterback this week?
I saw my boy Bryce Young balling, and I got him in fantasy. He has to start this week because T-Law's on bye. So, Bryce Young, take me home, baby.
Take me home, yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, we all thought Bryce played well, which is good for him. I think that like guy like him, you get a good game under your belt, and then it's time to
You
start
can
rolling.
stack
So
them, yeah.
yeah, exactly. You start stacking them. You start stacking them, and tell you sometimes really all it takes is one. Like I think that the fact bring up another rookie, Puka Nacua. The fact that his first game was good. Now we're gonna start stacking them. Jahmyr Gibbs he had his first touchdown last week, and what did he do? He stacked it with a masterclass of a game. Played so well last night. So shout out him too. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs starting to find his flow in the offense, getting more touches, getting involved in the pass game, which I thought was going to be his main role, being that change of pace back, kind of like an Alvin Kamara to a Mark Ingram that they were for all those years. Danny, could you, not to make you like relive through sorrow, could you explain what happened in the Steelers Jags game? Because that game was just like rainy and messy, and Pickett got knocked out, even though he will be playing. I heard. Yeah,
Yeah, he had a
seemed
rib
ugly.
injury, very unfortunate rib injury. It seemed uglier than it really was. I think it's a pretty cleanly played game. Both teams kind of didn't turn the ball over. They played pretty conservative because of the rain, though. I don't know. The Steelers could not get anything going, and then until Mitch came in and threw a slant to George Pickens, and he jumped over somebody. But Deontay Johnson, he's back. 8 catches for 85 yards.
That's
Good
nice.
game.
That's good. Yeah, and you start to, get healthy, and hopefully you have enough talent to overcome Matt Canada.
Dude, no amount of talent can overcome Matt Canada. Like, you could put the Eagles and the Niners and the Jags
Combine 'em.
offenses together, and they wouldn't overcome Matt Canada.
Oh man, it's that bad. Was there?
He
I know
runs
there
an
was another
offense like
big game.
he runs an offense like you got 5'6" linemen going against 5'8" D linemen.
Yeah, I don't know what he be cooking. So obviously, we're not going to talk about Saints Colts, obviously, because I didn't watch a lick of the Pats Patriots or Pats versus Dolphins. That was a whatever game. We're not talking about Jets Giants. That was a real stinker. Obviously, 2 more games we could talk about real quick. Bengals Niners, because holy, the Bengals are back. They're required 4 games to start the season horribly or over. Joe Burrow is back, looking like that top 5 quarterback, looking like that top 3 quarterback. And how about that defense? I mean, that defense looked really good. They're starting to really piece things together over there in Cincinnati. I want to
If I'm
hear
not
from,
mistaken, I believe I did say the Bengals were going to beat the Niners this week.
I don't want to hear any Bengals praise from you. I want you to stand on business, and I want you to keep that same energy that the Bengals will be bad.
No. I
Yeah.
mean,
Stand on business.
I did stand there. I stood on it for a while, but I feel like their defense is finally starting to turn around a little bit. They're starting to figure out their identity without Jesse Bates, without Von Bell. They're starting to figure out who they are with these young guys, but they still need. They should have added at the deadline. They didn't, which kind of concerns me. When their next 6 games, here's what they got. They got the Bills, Texans, Ravens, Steelers, Jags, Colts, all teams that are above 500 right now, except for the Texans. And the Texans got a stymie defense. So
I can feel comfortable taking. Here's the thing. The Ravens are back to the point where I can take them in 50-50 games. They could go out and beat the Ravens. It could happen. I will personally not pick that because, I think the Ravens are phenomenal. But Chris, did you have any thoughts on the Bengals bouncing back or the Niners losing their 3rd game in a row?
The only thing I have to say about that is I think that's what obviously made the Niners go start cheating and trade for Chase Young. So I'm actually not happy to see that because that is horrible. Prayers up to offensive lines everywhere. That's unreal to have to deal with that. That's what I have to say. I wish the Bengals would have lost because maybe they would have traded for Chase Young and started that mockery of mess that's going on over there. How do you even get that to happen? So you tell me right now. I know this is a little related. You tell me right now, they're going to have Bosa and Chase Young side by side, and then Fred Warner behind them, right? That's going to happen?
Yep, and Dre Greenlaw, and then you're going to have Alfonga behind them.
GG's. So thanks a lot, Bengals, for nothing. You just messing up.
You know what is the beauty behind all of that? Jordan Mailata in games against Chase Young this year has allowed a tackle. That is it. No hurries.
Wait. No. Chase Young got a sack on Hurts.
Then it wasn't on Jordan Mailata.
It was off that left side.
It was probably a stunt then because that's not what the next gen stats say. Yeah, so
I watched the highlights today on ESPN.
Congrats. So what happened? Did he beat Mailata around the edge, or did he come inside and beat Landon Dickerson?
It says, as you can see, Young beat Eagles left tackle Mailata for the sack. It was the first sack that Mailata allowed all the season.
Maybe I read it wrong. Maybe it was just that one sack and he let up nothing else. It's definitely possible.
He ran right by Jordan Mailata. Oh my God.
That's cool because he's not allowed in any of that in the playoffs.
Not a no. I'll stand with Mailata. I just sent the link in the chat.
Fair. I'll check it out later. But yeah. And then let's say while we're on the topic of Chase Young and Jordan Mailata and the Eagles and the Commanders, during that game, the Eagles defense, they add Kevin Byard, and it just seems like they kind of went backwards a little bit for some reason. Couldn't get any pressure on the worst offensive line in the league, but the offense was there. I mean, outside of they had a real chance to put up 50. They had 2 red zone fumbles, but Hurts was magnificent. Devontae Smith played really well. He had 7 catches, 99 yards, and a touchdown. AJ Brown, obviously, was amazing. And yeah, that's kind of really all that happened down there. Do you have any other games you want to talk about before we head into this Week 9 recap or Week 9 preview?
Let's go to Week 9 preview.
All right, yeah, Danny, if you want, you can take it away. We can start with Thursday Night Football, Steelers Titans. So yeah, all you, man, all you.
I get kicked off. Kenny Pickett versus none other than Will Levis. 4 touchdowns in his debut. I'm not going to call him 4 touchdowns. It was DeAndre Hopkins, 3 touchdowns. Will Levis had 1 touchdown last week.
Boo.
DeAndre Hopkins bailed him on half of those, dude. But no, he had very impressive throws. He looked like the best quarterback option for the Titans. Kenny Pickett is playing through a rib injury. Nonetheless, I still will pick the Steelers to win this game in a convincing fashion just because the Titans have not looked good offensively or defensively at all. They haven't looked that good at all.
First of all, you're a hater. The only time Hopkins bailed him out was that 50-50 ball down the sideline that he just won and got back inside to get. Real hater stuff right there.
No, I don't hate Levis. I like Levis a lot.
Clearly not, because Hopkins wasn't bailing him out. My boy had a masterclass.
I think Hopkins helped him a lot.
He helped him on one. On one did he have to go track down the ball and save his life. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with the Titans in this one. I think they ride the high of the rookie quarterback off his 4 touchdown performance. Now, granted, the Steelers are not the prettiest team that you want to face in just your second start on a short week. But I think holding that Atlanta team to, what was it, like 22 points or something like that, somewhere around there, you're not facing much more of a dynamic offense. It could be. Both Falcons and Steelers could both be dynamic, but unfortunately, certain play callers exist. But yeah, I'm going to go Titans. I think Will Levis is going to start his career 2-0 as a starter. I think DeAndre Hopkins, again, the veteran presence, could help him out a lot. I could see them putting the ball on the ground a lot this game on this Thursday night matchup. Maybe try to, control the clock type of deal. Because for Will Levis to come out and be 4 touchdowns, like 200 plus yards, 4 touchdowns in back-to-back starts, highly unlikely. So I see him, taking it easy, giving it to Derrick Henry, making the short passes, making things easy. But then again, I heard Joey Porter Jr. is getting he's going to be the full-time starter for Pittsburgh. So I'm interested to see what's going on over there. Hopefully Kenny Pickett is healthy enough to truly perform. I know he's going to play, but hopefully he is himself at the very least, so that he can hopefully overcome what we call Matt Canada. Chris, anything to say about matchup of 2 white 8 balls?
Yeah, I'm picking the Steelers in this one because even though Will Levis did play really good in his first game, I don't think he's seen a player as unreal as TJ Watt. Unfortunately, the Falcons don't have one. No other team has one except for when his brother played. So with TJ Watt, I think it's just Going to be a lot to deal with. Just the Steelers defense as a whole. I'm a big fan of the Steelers defense. I think they have a really good defense. So I think it's going to be a lot for Will Levis to handle. I think this will be a close one, but I think, but also too, if the Titans can get it going on the ground, I think they have a good chance. But I don't see that really happening too much because like Derrick Henry's been like a scheme running back a lot, but like this year's been like really like scripted, like just either if we're winning, all right, cool, give it to him. If not, like no. So I don't know. But I think the Steelers can pull it out in a close one.
Yeah,
I really like that a lot.
I damn near might change my pick because for some reason I forgot TJ Watt existed. So that could be, you know what? I'm flipping. I'm going Steelers winning because I just thought of that. TJ Watt is probably going to give Will Levis a tough time in his second NFL start. I do expect the Titans to run the ball, try to make it easier, but Tomlin's defenses never do. And Joey Porter is going to be the full-time starting corner. So hopefully he can help slow down a hot DeAndre Hopkins coming into this week. And hopefully, yeah, on offense, you know, Kenny Pickett, George Pickens, Deontay Johnson's finding his legs. And, you know, feed why am I blanking on his name? We all know who it is. Not Derrick Henry. I just said feed Derrick Henry. No.
Tajay Spears?
No, Steelers running back. This is
Oh,
obvious.
Najee Harris. I didn't even know
Najee Harris. Oh my God. Yes, feed Najee Harris, and hopefully he will. Yeah, feed Najee Harris. Get him going between the tackles. Get Jalen Warren involved in a little, you know, short game, screen action, all that. And hey, you know, I say short and screen game because you know Matt Canada's not doing anything else. Okay, now on to real football games. Chris, did you have any game you were looking forward to this Sunday?
Yes.
Or Monday?
Yeah. I'm gonna keep it with the same team we just talking about. I'm sorry. Oh, no. I'm not keeping with the same team we're talking about. We did talk about them a little bit, but I am looking forward to seeing Vikings and Falcons. I know that sounds like a stink fest, and I'm giving my reasoning why. I think it will be a stink fest, but I'm looking forward to seeing two players. Jordan Addison broke out since Justin Jefferson's been injured, so I've been really enjoying watching Jordan Addison play. And playing against the Falcons defense, I think he can keep his numbers up no matter who's throwing it to him. If I'm throwing the ball, he can probably keep the numbers up. So I like to see him. And then flip side, Bijan Robinson got to the end zone last week. I think that opens up and starts his maturation of being a top 5 running back in the next couple of years, if not sooner than a couple of years. So I want to see just how these two just continue what they're doing. I think they've both been picking it up as their rookie year's been going on and on. So just kind of excited to see how this happens because, I mean, the Vikings don't have Kirk Cousins anymore. They have Josh Dobbs and other NFL players on rosters who play quarterback. And then the Falcons have Desmond Ridder, who is masquerading as a quarterback in the NFL as well. So hopefully these two players that I like can, you know, kind of step up and help those quarterbacks out. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to that game.
I can see where you're coming from on that one. Just looking for some rookies to.
I want to see a Bijan masterclass, dude. That's what I want to see. I want to see a Bijan masterclass get stopped by an Addison masterclass. If I can get a 2-touchdown game from them two, I'm happy.
I think the difficult part is that Brian Flores, whoever is starting a quarterback for the Vikings, is just gonna Brian Flores, attacking whoever's gonna be starting for the Falcons. Is what I meant. He can make things tough, and it might hold off on Bijan getting into the end zone, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, this could be a big day for the Vikings offense. So yeah, Danny, did you have any other? I mean, there's a lot of games to pick from this week, but did you have any in particular that you were looking forward to besides Steelers one?
Yeah, I think the biggest game is Sunday Night Football, the rematch of the DeMar Hamlin game. Unfortunately, is Bills versus Bengals. I think this is going to be one of the games of the year, and we got kind of robbed from it last year after the incident. So I had a $10 bet on that game with one of my friends, and I was like, well, what do we do with the bet now?
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, could definitely be game of the year. I mean, the records, I mean, it's 5-3, 4-3, but we know what these teams are. These are AFC heavyweights. Josh Allen versus Joe Burrow, 2 top 5 quarterbacks. two of the best wide receiving cores in the league so far this year. Yeah, I can definitely see there's a lot of anticipation for this one. We didn't get to see it done last year. Of course, we're happy Lamar Hamlin is very healthy now and he is okay. But it's we get to see some unfinished business, for lack of a better terms. Chris, thoughts on Bills Bengals?
Yeah, I think it's lit. I think that's gonna be a really, really good game. That's probably the game of the week in my opinion, just because I think it's a lot for both teams. The Bengals are kind of catching their stride. The Bills have been up and down, just really weird. Like I think you said earlier, Tone, like they've been getting the random Josh Allens. You don't know which one you're gonna get. So I think it's just interesting to see, how both teams approach this game. I think it's big for both of them, not just for records, but just like momentum. Especially with the Bengals, like I said, I think finding their footing and the Bills not really doing so. So I think I'm just interested to see like what happens, like what side wins out. Like, do the Bengals keep going? Do the Bills kind of find their footing and kind of figure out like how they're going to be as a team? Because I think outside of Diggs right now, I don't see the Bills having many constants like you can really depend on, in my opinion. And then the Bengals are kind of starting to look like that offense we talked about a little bit earlier, like the one that people can predict but just can't stop. So I'm just kind of excited to see like what happens in that one.
Yeah, no doubt. And the fact y'all say game of the week, kind of debatable, man. I mean, we got 5-2 Seahawks versus 6-2 Ravens. We have 5-2 Cowboys versus 7-1 Eagles. 6-2 Dolphins versus 6-2 Chiefs over in Germany, I believe. Of course, my game of the week is going to be Eagles Cowboys. Dak versus Jalen Hurts for the first time in 2 years, because last year it was Minshew versus Dak, and the other time it was Jalen versus Cooper Rush. So yeah, I mean, what I'm just looking forward to is the Eagles holding up that pressure from the Cowboys. They've done it against every team so far this year. I'm looking forward to them holding up that defense, giving Jalen time to take advantage of what's been inconsistent secondary for the Cowboys since Trevon Diggs went down. I mean, for the Eagles, or for the Eagles defense and Cowboys offense side of things, Cowboys got to find things going early. I mean, last year they put up big points. You want to do that again. But I mean, in their last big game this year when they played the Niners, things weren't going early, and then you never pick things up. It's going to be the same thing with the Eagles. You can't find success early. It's the losses from a play to play basis is just going to keep piling up. So for the Eagles offense, hold off that defensive line, give Jalen time, because he's obviously, with a clean pocket, is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. For Dak and his guys, kind of the same deal, but just overall find something going early. Because falling behind to this Eagles team will not be ideal, because they will on offense just run that ball and really just try not to get you the ball back. That's just not something you want to do. So, yeah. Any of y'all have any words about Cowboys Eagles? I mean, possibly the biggest game of the year so far.
Yeah, hoping the Eagles smack the Cowboys up really bad, because I'm living down here in Dallas. I hope they cry a lot of tears, because they're going to probably have happy tears soon because the Rangers going to win, so we need to humble them a little bit. So, yeah. I'm in my hater bag, deep in it.
Trust.
Yeah, Rangers are up 3-1. So Rangers need to pull off some Warriors-esque to blow this lead, right?
Bro, we stopped caring about baseball when Bryce Harper wasn't at bat anymore. Talk about a real man sport right now.
Cricket.
Like hockey.
Oh,
yes.
thanks, Mark. Cricket.
Like tennis and golf.
Like Slovenian thumb wrestling.
Or that whatever that's like a slapping competition. That's a real sport. You can't be serious. You think I'm gonna just sit there and look you dead in your eyes while you just smack my face off? No, thank you. There's no way I'm signing up for this. But you gotta be a real maniac, like legit.
Yeah, they be crazy locked in. But Danny, do you have any words on that, or did you want to talk about one of those two other not prime time games, but late games, I guess you could say?
Yeah, I would love to talk about Eagles versus Cowboys. I think Jalen Hurts versus none other than Dak Prescott himself. Dude, this is going to be prime football.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
it's 4 p.m. slate. I hope Tony Romo is on the
Ugh,
mic.
ew.
You don't like Romo?
No, not for Cowboys games. No, he's
Yeah, but
horrible for Cowboys games.
he sucks Jalen Hurts off.
Yeah, not more than he does Dak, but yeah. Nah, I just don't want him for a Cowboys game. I'd prefer Greg Olson. I'd much prefer Greg Olson. I think I might prefer him in general, to be quite
Bears
honest.
legend,
But
Greg Olson.
yes,
Panthers
Bears
legend,
Panthers
Greg Olson.
legend, Greg Olson. Yes. Um, but I mean, we can talk about the Dolphins Chiefs game just a little bit before we head into Hawks and Locks. I mean, that's going to be the early Germany game.
I have one thing
Dolphins.
to say about it. One thing. I'm gonna kick it off this today. I mean, this one. I better get a shootout. I've been asking for one for weeks, week after week after week, and every two teams, I think, oh, this could be the day where they just go out, score a lot of points, have let me down. If Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes v. Tua, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle can't give me the shootout I want, then I just won't get one, I guess. I'm looking for a 35-42 game. Tua 400 yards,
Whoa.
Pat Mahomes 400 yards, something like that. I need that. I need injected into my veins. Rashee Rice 2 I need it. I need a game like that because I think these offenses are capable of it, and they're both 6-2. So I think it's going to be really good, honestly. But yeah, I'm looking forward to something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to shoot out. I don't know if this Chiefs defense is going to allow for it. They've been kind of stingy this year. But yeah, Mahomes is due for a bounce back game after the attempted flu game went utterly wrong and they lost to the Denver Broncos in what seemed like the impossible. Yeah, in this game, I mean, a very underrated matchup is going to be how L'Jarius Sneed is going to handle Hill and Waddle. I mean, he's one of the better corners in the NFL. I think he's really come up in the past couple of years. But Hill is the best in the game right now. Waddle's the best wide receiver two in the game right now. It's going to be a big task for the Chiefs defense, who is, again, like I said, been really good this year. And then on the Dolphins defense side of things, you've yet to show up in a big game. You got
Not at all.
embarrassed by
Not at all.
Philadelphia. You've got embarrassed by the Buffalo Bills. And now you got the best football player in the planet. I wouldn't say walking onto your field because it's not really your field, but he's walking onto the field. You got to win a big game. You have to be able to like shut down an elite offense. And this offense is quite literally only elite because of him and Kelsey. But yeah, I want to shoot out as much as I want the Dolphins to maybe like beat those fraud allegations a little bit. Yeah, I would love a shootout. I would love for Tua to go stride for stride with Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, I would love it. Danny?
Yeah, dude, this game will be one of the greats. Week 9, I always feel like week 9, once you get start getting in November, the games start getting better. I don't know if you know what I'm saying. Like the games just are good in November, and like you just get this vibe that it feels good. Like I feel like Cardinals Browns will be a good game. Like the Browns will somehow make that a close game. Like I don't know why, but I feel like every game's gonna feel like it's just football. You know?
No, I definitely get it. Yeah, around this time of year, playoff implications get heavier each and every week. Anything can happen. It's any given Sunday, man. It's any given Sunday. Yeah, I definitely feel you on that one. But yeah, I mean, if y'all want though, we can hop into Hots and Locks. I guess I can get us kicked off. So my lock of the week, it's not really too many strong locks per se. No, this week I'm gonna lock the Browns over the Cardinals. If Clayton Tune is making his first start, like we said earlier about Levis having to play against TJ Watt, Clayton Tune will not have a good time playing against Myles Garrett. It's not fun. It's not going to be good stuff. And Temple legend PJ Walker is going to get another win under his belt. Believe that. And then I guess for my hot take, it's not really like, again, it's not really like, I used to go record wise again. My hot take is that the Panthers win 2 in a row and they take down the Colts this week. And that'll be my hot take. I can pass the mic on to whoever wanted to go next.
Yeah, I'll take next. So for my lock of the week, give me none other than the Los Angeles Chargers over the New York Jets. It's gonna sound crazy. I know the Jets are looking better, but I think the Chargers are in a must-win game. The Jets have really no direction unless Rodgers comes back miraculously in 4 months after surgery. Granted, the Jets are saying it's gonna happen. I don't believe it for a second. That's kind of bogus. And for none other than the hot take of the week, give me the Chicago Bears over the New Orleans Saints. They have not looked good at all. It's kind of suspect, honestly. And I learned that Tyson Badgett's dad is like a Hall of Fame arm wrestler. So he's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time now.
I mean, that's insane dad lore one day. D2 to NFL quarterback. Your grandpop was an elite arm wrestler. Was the LeBron James of his game? I mean, wow.
The Michael James of his game.
Wait, have you seen how good he is at arm wrestling, though?
If he's in the Hall of Fame, I bet he's pretty good.
Dude, no, he's known as he's like a 27-time world champion. Like he literally lets people try to push as hard as he can, like strong people, not like some like little kid, and he'll just go, woo, woo.
Yeah. That's crazy. I gotta look that up. But Chris, for your hot and lock.
All right, well, you can lock in Ravens over Seahawks. I know it's supposed to be a good game, but my boy's about to roll and keep it rolling because we're on the roll. That's just what we do. We're gonna roll. We're gonna prove that Danny's right. We didn't need to make a move at the trade deadline. We're gonna prove that and let the Seahawks know. And for my hot, I had the Texans over the Buccaneers is my lock. I'm hot, sorry. It's my hot. Because Texas bounced back from their crushing loss against the Panthers. And they beat the Buccaneers, and Baker Mayfield deserves nothing good. And he's gonna throw an interception. So yeah, I got the Texans over the Buccaneers. It's just Stroud greater than Mayfield in my book. So
they're sick, man.
Yeah, I am.
Oh,
I have no regard for human life.
Real quick recap before we go into Summit savings. Danny's hot take is the Bears winning over the Saints, and his lock is the Chargers over the Jets. Chris's hot take is Texans over the Bucks, and his lock is Ravens over the Seahawks. My hot is Panthers over the Colts, and my lock is Browns over the Cardinals. And yes, with all that being said, we can move on into Summit savings. Danny, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, one of my favorite segments of the week, Summit Savings. I'm going to do a couple parlays starting off with the Steelers on Thursday. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm sticking with my guns. Give me the Steelers at minus 142. Give me the Rams at plus 140 in Green Bay. Give me the Texans at minus 148 against the Buccaneers. Like I said, give me the Bears plus 300 against the Saints. Give me the Ratbirds in Seattle. I'm at home against Seattle. Like I said, the Chargers against the Jets. This 6-leg parlay, $10 pays you out $600.
Yeah, just all money lines. Okay, so Steelers, Rams, Texans, Bears, Ravens, and Chargers. Ratbirds is not a nice name. Don't say that, you bully. Not nice. Chris, what's the parlay looking like this week?
All right, get ready. Start changes. All right, so first part is Bijan rush receiving yards over. I got faith in my boy. He does not let me down often. Well, JK he does, but I'm still gonna ride with him. Then I have Tyreek Hill receiving yards over. Travis Kelce receptions over. And then I have AJ Brown's yards over. Cowboys finna be having a tough time. Then I have Jamar Chase receiving yards over. And I'll round it off and end out with Tua pass yards over.
Yo, am I crazy or does the Dolphins Chief game the over under set at 50? Does that seem low?
And that could be like 32-28. Like that's easy. That's like 60. I don't
That's
know.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I would say so. Okay, since you guys made ridiculous amounts of picks, I have to throw mine on a separate one. I'm kind of looking at all the bangers this week, and I'm kind of just going to the most obvious. I'm going to take all the bangers I mentioned this week. Okay, I'm going to take Tyreek Hill for a touchdown. He'll never let me down there. I'll take Tyreek Hill for a touchdown. I'll take Travis Kelce for a touchdown. So there's 2 in that game. For Cowboys Eagles, I will take AJ Brown to continue his hot streak. He's going to score. CeeDee Lamb's going to score. Ooh, excuse me. Thank you. Okay. And then Ravens Seahawks, I like Tyler Lockett to get into the end zone. And I think Mark Andrews is going to score. He's been the most reliable target for Lamar Jackson down there. So I like Mark Jackson there. And then the primetime game, Bills Bengals. I'm gonna take, I'm gonna take Stephon Diggs, and I'm gonna take Jamar Chase to score. So basically, I'm taking the most likely scorer of all the big games this week to score. It's probably not gonna earn you a lot of money, but if you put $10 on it, you'll probably have more than $10 after the day's over. So yeah, that's yeah. Not too crazy, but I love the safe bets because they usually they're minus odds for a reason. So,
True.
Yes. But let's say with that, give me 1 second. Yeah. And with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, head on over to the audio platforms, pre-download, leave a like, leave a 5-star rating. We really appreciate all the love you've been showing. Make sure you follow us at Sideline Summit on all platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Just make sure you get all the content that we putting out. You guys have anything to say before we get on out of here?
No, let's get it.
All right, man. From Two-Tone Drip, Culture by Migos, DC Young Fly. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next week.